Wisdom seekers. Imagine waking up each morning as if you're gifted a fresh life, a life sculpted by purpose, clarity, and unshakable resolve. It's dawn, the world is quiet, and you're alone with your thoughts. Today you have the chance to mold your mind, not like clay, bending to every touch, but like stone, resilient, refined, and powerful. Today we're going to explore the mornings of a Stoic. Not just any routine, but habits rooted in ancient wisdom that stood the test of millennia. These habits have helped leaders, philosophers, and warriors stay grounded amidst the storms of life. They don't promise you an easy path, but a meaningful one. A path that helps you to live fully and freely, no matter what the day brings. So let's step into this ancient world and see how the first light of day can be our first lesson in strength, wisdom, and self-mastery. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's not a rejection of joy, but rather it's a sharpening of the mind, a way to see life as it is, a series of moments, some filled with peace, others with hardship. It's about understanding what we can control, and just as importantly, what we can't. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This teaching, wisdom seekers, is the heart of Stoicism. In this video, we'll be uncovering the morning habits that Stoics use to begin their day as masters of their mind. And these aren't just habits to improve productivity. They're habits to build a fortress of the spirit, a mindset that stands tall in the face of life's storms. Wisdom seekers, if you're ready to elevate your mornings and live with unshakable purpose, show your commitment. Hit that like button, subscribe for more life-changing insights, and comment, "I am ready for wisdom." Let's step into this journey together and become the best versions of ourselves. Habit 1, the early rise. Picture the world still covered in night, with only a hint of light breaking over the horizon. The early morning carries a sense of mystery, an atmosphere of raw potential. To rise at this hour is to step into that mystery, to claim it as your own. There's a reason why so many of the world's great thinkers, warriors, and philosophers have cherished this time. It belongs solely to you. The early rise isn't just about being awake before others. It's about embodying a principle of readiness, one that Marcus Aurelius understood profoundly. Imagine the emperor himself, who led Rome through relentless hardship, beginning each day in the stillness of dawn, collecting his thoughts before stepping into his responsibilities. In his meditations, Marcus reminds himself daily to be as the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands, and by standing, the raging of the sea subsides. Rising early is our first stand, a declaration that we will not be swept away by life's currents, but instead meet each wave with strength and resilience. The Stoic sees time as the most precious resource. An early morning is like a treasure hidden in plain sight. Most people never realize its value, trading these hours for a few more moments of sleep. But for the Stoic, each minute is an opportunity. Imagine that each morning is a small lifetime, a chance to start anew, to reset the mind and spirit. When you rise early, you are reclaiming control over your most valuable asset, your time. Seneca once mused, "As each day arises, greet it as the true gift that it is, for we are not promised another." This simple decision to wake early becomes a daily affirmation of gratitude, an honoring of time itself. As you wake before the world stirs, you stand at the threshold of infinite possibilities. In the quiet of the early hours, listen to your thoughts as they surface. You may notice ideas that are clear and profound, ideas that often get lost in the noise of the day. Rising early is an exercise in self-discipline, yes, but it's also a profound act of self-discovery. You have a chance to know yourself in a way that many people never do. In this solitude, without the influence of external demands, you can listen to your deepest intentions, your truest desires. And finally, think of the symbolism of dawn, the beginning of a new cycle. Each sunrise is a promise that life renews, that the struggles of yesterday are not fixed. You are not bound by what you could not achieve yesterday. The early morning teaches us that each day is a clean slate, an opportunity to refine ourselves, to correct our course. The early rise is more than a habit, it's an invitation to live with purpose. Habit 2, a moment of stillness. In the fragile moments between waking and full awareness, there's a rare peace, a stillness untouched by the chaos of life. For a brief moment, you are weightless, unburdened by the concerns of the world. Embrace this silence, this calm, before the world claims you. The Stoics deeply valued these moments of stillness as a source of strength. They believed that peace begins within, that before we step into the day's battles, we must first conquer the battles within ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men of his time, would sit in silence each morning, simply breathing, letting go of thoughts that were not useful. He once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Imagine finding that kind of inner sanctuary within yourself, a space untouched by the noise of life. Take a moment in your morning to simply sit. Do not reach for your phone, your thoughts, or any distractions. Let your mind rest, as a lake untouched by wind remains still and clear. Observe your breath. Watch your thoughts rise and fall, without clinging to them or letting them pull you in. This habit, though it may seem simple, is one of the most profound acts of discipline. In a world driven by constant stimulation and urgency, stillness is a radical act of freedom. Think of stillness as a training ground for the mind. When you practice silence, you're learning to step back from impulse, to observe without reaction. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, taught that we should be masters of our minds rather than slaves to our emotions. He reminded us that in every situation, it is our interpretation, not the event itself, that creates our experience. Sitting in stillness each morning teaches us to observe our thoughts without attaching ourselves to them, without letting them dictate our emotions. Now consider this: the world around us is chaotic. The Stoics lived in turbulent times filled with war, political instability, and constant change. And yet, they practiced calmness as their strength. This habit of stillness is a practice of mental resilience, a reminder that no matter how turbulent life may be, you have the power to create calm within yourself. You carry this strength with you into the day, knowing that, come what may, you can return to this state of stillness whenever you need it. Let this moment of stillness each morning remind you of what is within your control: your mind, your reactions, your sense of peace. Everything else may be chaotic, but here, in this sanctuary of silence, you are steady, you are grounded. This is where the Stoic begins the day, not with urgency, but with calm, a clarity that cannot be shaken. Habit 3. Reflection on mortality. Now imagine, as you sit in the quiet of the early morning, that this day may be your last. It may sound somber, even unsettling, but for the Stoic, it is an exercise in gratitude, in clarity, in choosing what truly matters. The Stoics embrace the practice of reflecting on mortality, not to invite fear, but to sharpen their appreciation for life. This practice, known as memento mori, or remember you must die, was a central aspect of Stoic thought. To the Stoics, death was not a distant shadow to be feared, but a reminder of the preciousness of each moment. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would not live forever, writing, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." Imagine living with that intensity of purpose, that fullness of presence. Reflecting on mortality each morning isn't about dwelling in sadness or anxiety. Instead, it's a way of distilling life to its essence. Ask yourself, if today were your last, how would you want to spend it? What grudges would you release? What moments of beauty would you savor? This reflection is a reminder to let go of the trivial concerns that occupy so much of our energy and attention. Many people avoid thoughts of mortality, thinking it morbid or uncomfortable. But the Stoics saw this as a mistake. They believed that only by acknowledging the brevity of life could we live fully. Seneca wrote, "Life is long, if you know how to use it." And to him, that meant focusing on what is essential, appreciating the small joys, letting go of resentment, and acting with purpose. Imagine how different your day would be if you approached each moment with this perspective. You wouldn't waste time on anger, jealousy, or frustration. You'd value every conversation, every small gesture. Each action would be performed with attention and gratitude. In a sense, reflecting on mortality is a way of filtering out the noise, letting go of everything unimportant, and choosing to live with intention. Let this morning habit remind you that life is not guaranteed, that every day is a gift. When you acknowledge your mortality, you give yourself permission to live fully, without fear. This reflection on death is not about darkness. It's about a profound respect for life. Today, as you go about your day, remember that it is finite, and that this realization is your guide to living meaningfully. Habit 4. Setting intentions with clarity. In the first moments of your day, before the world's demands rush in, there's an opportunity to shape your purpose with crystal clarity. This moment is a blank canvas, an invitation to paint the vision of your day. The Stoics knew the importance of setting intentions not only to give direction, but to cultivate an inner resolve, a focus on what truly matters. Setting intentions each morning is like steering a ship before setting sail. Imagine Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, beginning his day by reminding himself of his values, of the kind of man he aspired to be. He would reflect on his responsibilities as a leader, a philosopher, and a father. In his meditations, he wrote, "At dawn, when you awake, reflect upon the privilege of being alive, of thinking, of enjoying, of loving." To him, intention wasn't just about goals. It was about the spirit he would bring to each action, the values he wanted to embody. Take a few minutes each morning to ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What qualities do I want to express? This isn't a checklist, but a reflection on your deeper motivations. Imagine that today is the only day you have to live these intentions, to be the person you wish to become. In this way, your morning intentions act as your compass. They guide you through distractions and temptations, allowing you to return to what truly matters. For the Stoic, setting intentions also includes a commitment to resilience. Each day brings challenges, some minor, others life-altering. But with a clear sense of purpose, you meet these challenges with poise. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. In other words, decide who you want to be, and let your actions reflect that decision, no matter what you encounter. Let this practice be more than just a routine. Let it be a moment of connection with yourself, a daily declaration of purpose. Today, you are setting the tone, choosing the energy you wish to carry with you. Remember that the Stoic approach isn't about achieving grand, heroic deeds, but about the small, consistent choices that align you with your highest values. This moment of intention becomes a promise to yourself, a commitment to live consciously, fully, and with integrity. Habit 5. Practicing gratitude. As you sit in the quiet of the early morning, take a moment to consider everything you have, your health, your breath, the simple fact that you are alive. The Stoics were masters of gratitude, not because they lived in times of abundance, but precisely because they understood life's fragility. For the Stoics, gratitude was a practice of humility and resilience. Epictetus taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." To him, gratitude was not about indulging in luxury or comfort, but about recognizing the richness of the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. Take a moment each morning to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. Let them be simple things: a warm cup of tea, the quiet of the morning, the sound of birds outside your window. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's difficulties, but about creating an anchor in the good that exists within and around us. This habit of gratitude doesn't just uplift the spirit, it strengthens the mind. When we train ourselves to look for the positives, even amidst adversity, we build a fortress of resilience. Imagine how different your day would feel if you began it with appreciation. Gratitude keeps the Stoic grounded. It reminds us that even if we have nothing, we still possess the ability to be thankful. Seneca put it this way, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." In a world where we're constantly told to strive for more, gratitude reminds us that we already have enough, that our lives are already filled with value. Gratitude is a reminder that joy isn't in things, it's in perspective. Let this practice open your heart each morning, allowing you to face the day with humility and peace. When we start with gratitude, we create a space within ourselves for joy, patience, and compassion to flourish. Habit 6. Embracing physical discipline. For the Stoics, the mind and body were inextricably connected. Strengthening the body was seen as an essential practice, not for vanity or external reward, but as a form of inner discipline, a training ground for the soul. Imagine the Stoics of ancient times, who embraced physical challenges not as athletes seeking fame, but as philosophers dedicated to mastering themselves. Marcus Aurelius, despite his status as emperor, believed in the importance of physical discipline. He viewed his body as a tool for the mind, something to be cared for and strengthened, but never worshipped. He once wrote, "Take care of your body, and it will take care of you." The Stoics understood that a disciplined body breeds a disciplined mind. In the morning, dedicate time to a practice that builds strength, endurance, or flexibility. It could be as simple as a few minutes of stretching, breathing exercises, or a walk in nature. The point is not the exercise itself, but the intention behind it, a commitment to cultivating resilience. Epictetus taught, if you would be a reader, read; if a writer, write; but if you would be a disciplined soul, exercise your body as well. The Stoics saw physical discipline as essential training for life's challenges. Physical discipline also teaches us to tolerate discomfort. In our modern lives, we're shielded from hardship, living in comfort zones that weaken our inner resolve. By choosing to exert ourselves physically, we practice moving beyond comfort, building a mind that can withstand life's adversities. Each stretch, each push-up, each mile run becomes a lesson in patience and perseverance. Let this morning habit be a reminder that the body, when disciplined, becomes a source of strength and pride, not for others, but for yourself. When you embrace physical discipline, you're not just building muscle, you're building character, resilience, and self-respect. Habit 7. Practicing detachment from outcomes. Imagine if you could face every day without anxiety over how things will turn out, free from the weight of expectations. To the Stoics, detachment from outcomes was not a lack of care, but a mastery over the mind, a release from the chains of unnecessary worry. The Stoics believed deeply in the idea of focusing only on what we can control. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." For the Stoic, once you've done your part, the result is no longer your concern. This is the practice of letting go, of allowing life to unfold without attaching yourself to outcomes. In the morning, consider your intentions for the day. Focus not on specific results, but on the effort, integrity, and character you wish to bring to your actions. Release the need for control over things you cannot influence. The Stoics' goal was never to manipulate outcomes, but to master their response to whatever life brings. Detachment, then, is not apathy, but empowerment. It means you can walk through life with a calm heart, knowing that you are free from the grip of things beyond your reach. Imagine the freedom in letting go of the need for everything to go your way. Life rarely conforms to our plans, and the Stoic knows that true peace lies in accepting this. Detachment from outcomes is not about giving up, it's about gaining mastery over your inner world. By practicing this each morning, you're preparing yourself to face the day with calm, even in the face of uncertainty. Start each day with the intention to do your best, and then let go of the rest. This is a liberating act, a way of cultivating true inner strength, unshaken by external circumstances. The Stoics' peace lies not in what happens, but in their response to it, and practicing detachment each morning grounds you in that strength. Habit 8. Reviewing the virtues. Every morning, as you sit in contemplation, take a moment to remind yourself of the virtues that guide your actions. For the Stoics, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance were the compass for their lives, guiding them to live with honor and integrity. Virtue was the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to live in accordance with nature, which to him meant living virtuously. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This reminder wasn't just philosophical, it was a daily call to action. Each morning, ask yourself, how can I embody these virtues today? Reflect on wisdom. Are you willing to learn and grow? On courage, are you prepared to face what the day brings with bravery? On justice, are you committed to fairness and compassion in your interactions? On temperance, can you exercise restraint and moderation? These virtues aren't abstract ideals. They are practices to be lived daily. When you start your morning with a review of these virtues, you're setting a standard for your behavior, grounding yourself in principles that will guide your choices. The Stoic believes that a life lived in alignment with virtue is a life of peace, clarity, and inner strength. This morning practice isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Each day, strive to move closer to these virtues, to let them shape who you are. As you review them, Imagine the person you would be if you lived by these principles, and let this image inspire your actions. The Stoic morning begins not just with intentions, but with virtues that anchor the soul. Habit 9. Embracing the power of choice. Imagine standing at the dawn of your day, realizing that every moment offers you a choice of thought, a choice of action, a choice of attitude. For the Stoics, each day was filled with opportunities to exercise their greatest power, the power of choice. The Stoics understood that, while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This is the essence of freedom. Epictetus taught, "You may fetter my leg, but not even Zeus can get the better of my free will." Each morning, take a moment to acknowledge this incredible freedom within you, the ability to choose your perspective, your reactions, and ultimately, the quality of your day. Imagine the strength that comes from realizing that no external event can disturb your peace without your permission. When you embrace the power of choice each morning, you're reminding yourself that, regardless of what you encounter, you have control over your mind and actions. This practice isn't merely positive thinking, it's a deliberate cultivation of resilience. The Stoics faced great adversity, but they saw these challenges as opportunities to exercise their inner strength, their power to choose wisely. Each morning, remind yourself that today you will choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment, and courage over fear. This simple, yet profound commitment sets a tone of empowerment and inner stability for your day. In a world where people often feel swept along by circumstances, the Stoic knows that each decision, each reaction is an opportunity to affirm their values and their inner peace. Let this practice deepen your sense of agency. As you go through the day, bring awareness to each choice you make, big or small. Notice how even the smallest decisions are opportunities to exercise your character. This power of choice is yours and yours alone. When you realize that, you awaken a quiet, enduring strength that carries you through every challenge with grace and determination. Habit 10. Evening reflection and letting go. As your day comes to an end, the Stoic practice is to pause, to review, and to release. This reflection is not a time to dwell or criticize, but a time to understand, to learn, and ultimately to let go. The evening becomes a sacred ritual of self-examination and release. Each evening, the Stoics would reflect on their actions, asking themselves if they had lived according to their values and virtues. They would consider where they had succeeded and where they had fallen short, not as a judgment, but as a lesson. Seneca once wrote, "The time will come when our lives will be closely examined, and the verdict will be very different from what we imagine." He knew the importance of facing oneself with honesty and humility, understanding that growth comes from sincere reflection. As you sit quietly, review the events of your day. Consider how you reacted to challenges, how you treated others, and whether your actions aligned with your intentions and values. Be honest, but gentle with yourself. This isn't a time for harsh judgment. It's a time to recognize your efforts, your growth, and your areas for improvement. Imagine this reflection as a way of strengthening your character, of becoming ever closer to the person you wish to be. The evening reflection is also a practice of letting go. The Stoics taught that clinging to the past, to mistakes or missed opportunities, only brings suffering. Epictetus advised, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Once you've examined your day, release any regrets or anxieties. Let go of what didn't go as planned. In this way, you end each day with a clear mind and a light heart, prepared to begin anew tomorrow. Imagine going to sleep with a sense of peace, knowing that you have faced the day fully, that you have learned from it, and that you are free from the weight of unfinished thoughts. This habit isn't just a way to end the day, it's a way to live free from regret, empowered by reflection and release. The Stoic doesn't carry yesterday's burdens into tomorrow. Instead, they greet each day as a fresh start, wiser and more resilient. By incorporating these final 3 habits, we've crafted a comprehensive morning and evening routine that embodies the essence of Stoic wisdom. Each habit is an invitation for viewers to practice self-discipline, resilience, gratitude, and purpose. This routine offers not only a practical structure, but also a journey into the depths of Stoic philosophy, a guide for transforming each day with strength, clarity, and intention.